Now let's take the rapid assault tactics, and break it down into our 3 sections. We'll start with the entry, and we're going to do destructions. We'll do destructions on the upper half first, and then we do the lower half, and then we combine them. This is how I want you to learn this at home. Okay, George, come on up. George is going to throw punches at me. You always have your opponent your training partner try to hit you. Okay, don't throw punches in front of the face, but go through and actually try to make contact. That's why we put on gloves. It's never a thing of, I wonder if this would really work. We always know whether it really works because we try to hit each other. We really try to wrestle. You know, if you're really applying the correct pressure, there's not much difference between your training and the street fight. And many people think, oh, I've never been in a street fight. Maybe I need to go out and get into street fights to make this work. No, if your training is realistic enough, you don't have to do that. Okay, George, you come on in and go. Good. Now, this destruction would do me no good if I didn't have that footwork. If we're in a crowded bar, let's say, Georgie, come on up here, and we're just this close to each other, and we turn around and he throws a punch at me, there's no time or room or energy to do a destruction. So for that, we have what's called an interception. So I always teach these together. Some folks don't hit you. Some folks like to walk up to you and get right in your face and talk. I love that, okay? So before they get up into your face, I highly recommend that you hit them. And simply don't stop hitting until they're done talking. Okay, so as he approaches, boom, just right into the eyes. Simple. So if I intercept George before he hits me, we call that an interception. So again, George is going to come up, pull a punch, boom. Most people at this point would cover and then throw the punch back, or if he doesn't even throw the punch and he just walks up to you, a lot of people just do this. Don't recommend that. So before you do any of that, you see the fight starting, hit. Hit first and don't stop hitting. Sometimes you can kick, sometimes you can hit. It depends on your position. If I'm a little bit more forward, I see him coming, I can just be boom, just a kick right to the groin. If my feet are a little bit more this way, I see him approaching from laterally, it's just boom, again to the eyes. But you intercept first. Now, after you're done intercepting, and let's get you back to the board, after we're done with the interception, we complete the program. We still go to a straight blast, and then we still go to the termination of headbutt, knee, and elbow. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Just bear with me. So far, we have interceptions and destructions. Review. He throws punches at you, boom, your hands are up, and you have this impeccable form. Or perhaps you're not out in the parking lot, maybe you're in a bar, and you're sitting here talking and you see him approaching you, and then boom, hopefully he wasn't asking you what time it is. So that is your interception, and then you would go on with your straight blast and your termination. So let's first work our form. The nose and the elbow line up like an eclipse, and you move around from this position. One side tries to throw punches at you. Now we're going to take care of the destructions for the kicks. We break the kicks down into low line and high line. We'll start off with the low line. The knee covers the low line. The elbows cover the high line in most kicks. Okay, so when the knee comes up to the elbow, that meets, so you have an airtight defense. That's your little cocoon of elbows and knees. Okay, again, you're going to watch my footwork. George, come on out. I have to protect my face. I can't now, knowing that I'm going to do kick destructions, have my hands down, because if he throws a punch, I don't want to have to move my hand up. This line has to be occupying the high line all the time. It shouldn't have this rendezvous with the punch at a given moment in time. It shouldn't do this. Again, if you get that action going, it's never going to work, particularly if you're in a bar and many punches are coming at you. Okay, or church. It doesn't have to be a bar. Okay, so the hands are up here. The elbows are in front of the face. Anything that comes in, bam, it's just going to run right into it. So you got to keep that form quite impeccable. Now with the low line kicking, you're up on your toes, but when something comes, you just put the knee up. If you notice, any kick that comes to my frontal area, give me that shot, is boom, the knee covers that way. Any kick that comes to the rear like a tie shot, boom, I take it out that way. Okay? So for now, you're going to instruct your training partner to throw only one line of weapons at a time. Don't put in the punches. Don't put in the high kicks. Get up on your toes, use footwork, keep impeccable form, and destroy it from the low line. Okay. Okay, good, George. So as you see, you have to augment these destructions with movement, otherwise it's not going to work. So you're using the boxer's footwork, you're using the Thai boxer's form, and we're using Kali or Eskrima for the low line destructions, and that's moving the knee. Now let's do the same thing with the high line. Interesting enough, on the high line, somebody could spend 20 years working high kicks. And it could take that long. You could be in a Korean art, Taekwondo, Tang Sudo, Tang Sudo, Hapkido. You could be in a French art. You could be doing Savat, which I've done for many years. It takes you a long time to master those high kicks. Well, there's one move that you can use that will counter 20 years of high kicking. Okay, it's not very difficult. You're moving around. You ready? Here we go. That's it. That's all you need. So if you have your form, any high kick that comes, that'll counter any high kick on this earth. Okay, come on in, George. So I don't care what's coming. I don't care what foot, what spin kick, what front kick, spins all the way around. Doesn't make any difference. Just raise straight up to the groin, no matter what happens. Bam. Okay. Whoop. Yeah. So if it's a low line, you bring your foot here. If it's a high line, you might have thought it was low and then you have to extend it. That's fine. So these are the destructions, and what you find in common is the minute a strike comes, it's instantly destroyed. The minute a kick comes, it's instantly destroyed. It's not a block and go type system, okay? And therefore, it usually takes about 15 or 20 years to learn how to block strikes properly. You start out as an amateur boxer, and you work your way into the pros, okay? You slip, bob, weave, duck, parry, and there's a whole world of timing issues and line familiarization and stamina and footwork, and all these attributes that go into place when you try to duke it out with somebody. Conversely, if you're not in that mode, and if you just want to put your hands up and they hit you, it takes 2 or 3 days and you can accomplish the same thing. Okay? So this is called the cocoon. This is the entry portion of our rat, and it involves elbows and knees. And if the opponent doesn't punch us, he just wants to walk up to us first, we do an interception. And when we intercept, we think of the 4 circles, 2 eyes and the groin. Okay? 4 circles coming at you. No muscles, no big tattoos, just 4 circles. Boop. Okay? And if they throw the punches, you're a cocoon.